Hello and welcome.
Hi, y'all.
Cheers.
Clink, clink,
Clink, clink, clink. So this is a special After Dark edition. And I got the lovely Bella here.
Hello, y'all.
In my home, in my space. And we're going to be talking. We're going to be drinking some wine, eating some popcorn. And just we're going to have a good time. So I really want y'all to come in and join us. Join in on the conversation. And if anyone wants to actually come on and talk in the studio with us, we're going to let you in because this is a special After Dark edition. And we're going to get raw. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a great conversation, right? So if you're home, go ahead and grab a glass of wine and let's get started. Let's start talking. So I'm a little far because I got this table in front of us. So I'm hoping that I could see when people write comments. If not, I might have to just keep putting my glasses on and off.
Here.
Okay, how we going to move this a little closer? Thank you. Because I can't see. Oh, let's go in between. There we go. The table. There we go. All right, as we're waiting for folks to join in, I'm gonna put this right here.
How's y'all day? Were y'all boycotting? I know I did. I needed some gas, but I was like, I'll hold out till tomorrow.
So I didn't leave the house because I needed gas.
Well, good thing you're in a good area because you can walk around and stuff.
I know. So I was telling Bella, let me just go ahead and have Bella go ahead and introduce herself. For those of you who are coming on or are on already, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Bella Harris. I met Prim through your cacao ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I first met her. However, we are in similar circles. She learned from Kundalini from the same teacher who I've learned Tantra with. And we just kind of, organically just been friends ever since then. And I am in the process of rebranding myself. I am a seamstress by trade. And now I'm rebranding myself to be a retail therapist where I fuse my Tantra, Kundalini, Reiki, all in between in the things that I do, whether it's making the clothes, helping my models build their confidence, just boosting your energy. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you wear, it's how you feel within yourself. About what you're wearing. And sometimes you just gotta switch it up. And for my birthday, I was a sexy cowgirl and I was feeling myself and I was loving myself. And I was even channeling a lot of the energies that I picked up from a reading that I did with my family for Dias de los Muertos. So yeah, it was just like, it was kind of cool to kind of like tap into that energy that I feel like my ancestors wanted me to tap into. And so I just kind of want to provide that same type of outlet for other people with my retail therapy. So just giving a new spin to what retail therapy is.
All right. So as she was talking, I was like, let me send this in to somebody in another group chat. Let folks know we're on. So I love it. I love it. I love it. And so, it's so interesting because talking about the retail therapy, I really had a thought of having you, seeing if you were interested in I'm trying to rebrand myself as well.
Okay.
And so I'm like, well, maybe doing the retail therapy, I don't know, maybe you can make some clothes for me. I buy some fabric.
Okay.
So, I buy some fabric and I tell you what I'm feeling.
Okay.
What I'm trying to exude.
Okay.
And maybe we could work together and you make something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been thinking about that.
So I would love to really just pick people's brain of what's your comfort zone versus what you want to tap into, because sometimes again, you have to really just get into more of your body to feel what you feel like you can kind of push yourself towards. And so I feel like Tantra is a good way of embodying yourself in general.
Yes.
So I think there's a lot of releasing rituals we can do. There's a lot of just envisioning through meditations and stuff like that we can do before we get to that point of just okay, let me go make those clothes. But I think that would be amazing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm excited.
I love that.
And I actually have a model boot camp coming up for
Mhm.
my fashion show March 30th,
Mhm.
because two out of the 6 models, they never modeled before. Like, no
Right.
runway, no photo shoots, anything.
Right.
And so I figured, like, hey, like, I know how I feel whenever I do Tantra. So let me just teach them what I've been learning along the way so they can kind of get into their bodies and channel that inner fierceness. Because
Yes.
my line of clothing is going to have animal prints and all that stuff. And you can't be on the runway in animal print and not
Right.
come correct.
Right.
So, yeah.
I know you gotta. So, and that's the thing with Tantra too, is like connecting to that primal instinct, that primal animalistic instinct.
Big purr.
And so I love that. I love that we're talking about this, right? Because you come from a background. Were you Muslim, or tell me?
Okay.
Tell me. Because this is a thing, right? Like, and we want to talk about this because this is important as we drink our wine and eat some popcorn. So I grew up Catholic, right?
Okay.
And there's a whole lot of Catholic guilt, right? And there's all these things. Growing up Catholic, it was like all of this shame around your body.
Okay.
And so I think, and it's not just with Catholicism, with different religions, and just even some families who are not religious.
Okay.
There's this shame around the body, around connecting to the body, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so there's no talking about sexuality. There's no talking about any of these things. So growing up, I didn't know anything.
Okay.
Right? Like I had to discover stuff alone. And then I thought I would go to hell if I did certain things.
Okay.
And so you grew up.
So actually, my household was already torn just because, like, my mom, she's from Philadelphia area.
Okay.
But she was Baptist, and my dad, he was Catholic turned Baptist.
Oh, okay. So where did I get Muslim from?
Well, because that's my journey. So it's like, because he was a Catholic turned Baptist, but Southern Baptist and Northern Baptist are two completely different experiences. So as far as the household being torn, it's like I never had to go to church because I didn't have a church home. Like I would be invited and stuff like that. And it would be like older women who'd be like, oh, make sure that she comes. She needs church. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm 8 years old. Like just thinking about things like that or hearing things like that at a young age. But to me, Islam was introduced to me when, my mom was a single parent. And a lot of the programs that I not only like participated in as a disadvantaged youth, but it was more so like, a lot of the volunteers in that space, it wasn't until I got into high school and started reading about Malcolm X. I'm like, oh, they're part of the Nation of Islam. And so just reconnecting with them by the time I got to college, and even some of my friends who, they're like West Africans, so they practice a lot of traditional Islam. At some point when I was just like, I asked a lot of questions when I was a kid when it comes to Christianity. They're like, oh, like you're questioning God, so this is a bad thing. So I just kind of like, okay, maybe this is not my route. It never really resonated with me. But at the time, like just being around certain friends who practice, whether it was like through the Nation, who I really observed with the most, or even my friends who were traditional Muslims, that's how I kind of got into like, okay, like there is a realm for me to feel like I belong somewhere. So that's how I kind of like, I would say like foundationally though.
Yeah.
Still Christian though, because I would say when I was in pre-K, I went to Advanced Early Learning Academy, but it was a Christian academy. Yeah. And so my ABCs, I had to recite using the Bible verses. And so I remember like to this day, like V, verily, verily, I say unto you, like I just remember like certain things since then. So that's my foundation versus I guess like my introduction to like God and like metaphysical stuff was through Islam.
Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. Okay, good. So similar to me in the sense that you got a different mixes of religion and things like that. So similar to me in the sense of, I grew up Catholic, but then I ended up going to a Baptist church, then a non-denominational church. Then I started going to Korean Buddhist Center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then a Tibetan Buddhist Center. Then in Brazil, I actually lived in a Japanese Buddhist center, Zen Buddhist center. Okay. In Brazil. and then, I started studying Candomblé and so many different things. And so one of the things that I realized, they're all connected. And honestly, it doesn't matter what religion you're in, if you're Baptist, you're Pentecostal or whatever,
Mhm.
a lot of the principles of what you're learning is the same.
Yeah.
And I still feel to this day that I can open up a Bible and I can read something and it's going to help me.
Yeah.
It's going to help me through whatever I'm going
Yeah.
through. And so the two can coincide.
Yeah.
The two can work together.
Yeah.
And I think that we have to be able to open up
Mhm.
and learn from each other, experience from each other, instead of being closed off and saying that is evil.
Mhm.
If you're meditating, if you're doing yoga, that's demonic.
Right.
Like being able to open and understand so that we can heal and we can grow.
No, I agree, because even when I was in college, I guess my first like real sister circle too
Mhm.
in college, I experienced in college, they were of the Baha'i faith. And even though they acknowledge Baha'i Allah as
Mhm.
their messenger, they have the 9-point system, and so in the core of it is God.
Mhm.
And they believe that it's almost like an omnis point of view, to where it's like when a group of people during a certain time needed God the most, he would send his messengers in order to like reach those people when it's needed. So that's the different points of the sun and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And so like enlightenment reaches whatever group of people when they need it the most. And so that kind of just opened up my mindset as far as the connectivity of it all. And I've had some of the most breakthrough moments where I'm just like EFT tapping and oh my gosh, like to gospel music, and I'm channeling like the spirit, like the same spirit that I feel like I was kind of brought up into with my great aunt and stuff like that.
Yes. So as you're coming on, I see some people are on. Go ahead and say hi. Let us know you're here. And because today is Blackout Friday. Oh, and the planets are in alignment today. Could anybody see it? I haven't even stepped out the house because I wasn't leaving home today, but I kept trying to say I want to go out and see if I see it. Did you see it coming here?
I didn't know nothing was happening.
Yeah, so the planets are supposed to be in alignment again.
Okay.
And then we're also in a new moon energy.
Okay.
So this is a great time to like really manifest and think about what you want and the healing that you want. So if you're on here, say hi. If you actually want to come in the studio, type a message in the chat and we'll let you come in. But let us know who's here. Say hello. And what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about what you heard so far in terms of what we're talking about? And am I the only one eating popcorn here?
A little bit. Yeah, I definitely want to see, because I see there's some people online.
Didn't take none.
I know.
But it's okay. I'm breaking my my fast. Yes, go ahead. She wants to make sure she's talking and it's coming out clearly.
Yeah.
So, but hey, you can talk, drink wine, and eat popcorn.
And join us online.
Yes, join us. So say hi. I see people on. Say hi. Let us know your thoughts. What are you doing? Did you actually stay home, or did you go to work, but did you participate in the economic blackout today? Did you not spend any money?
I went to work today because I have to pay bills and stuff, but I did not stop and get gas.
Right.
Yeah. So, riding on fumes. But we're here. We're here for the cause. We are here for the cause.
And if you need to spend the night to not get gas, and go in the morning and get gas, you can do that. We don't want you running out of gas on the highway.
Right. Especially in the middle of downtown. It's kind of scary down there.
That is. In Atlanta? And there's always a police chase going on. So, hey, JR. How you doing? And JR, if you want to join us, let us know. Come on in.
Is JR joining the panel next month?
I don't know. Which panel?
Remember it was like 6 of us?
Oh, that's right. 6 of us. Oh, I wrote it down, but I got to find it. I got to remember who. Lord.
JR, are you joining the panel?
Oh, I think JR said he wanted to. Jeremy, right? And then Kenna, you, and who else?
I know Jay said he'll hop on.
I
think E said she was too.
Alicia?
Yeah.
Peace, JR. Let us know if you want to join in. I'll send you the okay, not tonight. Perfect. Just watch. So feel free to type if you have any experience with religion and spirituality. So For me, I remember when I found Reiki. I was doing my master's, actually post-master's. So I was doing a post-master's degree
Okay.
in psychology, because my background is in psychology. And I was stressed. So I was like, oh, let me go get a massage.
Okay.
So I went to go get a massage. And the lady that gave me massage, like Reiki was coming out.
Okay.
It got really cold. And then I would feel hands in different places. And I'm like,
so like she'll be massaging on your legs, but you feel on your shoulders.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like opening my eyes. I'm like, what's going on?
Is it 2 people in
It's like,
there?
yeah, like, is it 5 people in here? Well, how many
Okay.
people are working on me?
Oh, she in
I'm like,
Atlanta?
No, she's in Maryland.
Okay.
I know. And I was like, what the heck? And so when we finished, she was like, oh, your ancestors were here and they were helping. And Reiki came out. And I was like, what the hell? Child, I got scared. I ran. Because we never talk about ancestors. And that's the thing. So when you grow up in a religious home, or even if it's not religious, but sometimes you grow up and they don't talk about ancestors because that's like, I don't know what they think it is.
Right.
But these are your family members, right? That love you, that want to take care of you, that want to help you heal and watch after you.
Or it's like as if it's okay to believe in archangels and guardian angels and stuff like that too, but you can't think about the ones who crossed over, the ones who are most dearly connected to us as well. So that, and I know my Reiki master, once I got attuned, the way she broke it down too, it's like, to make it relatable to everyone, it's like, it's almost as if when you go to church and you have that elder or an anointed one, you go to the altar and someone lays hands on you, that same energy of the Holy Spirit that people are laying hands on you with, it's just Reiki is pretty much like, there's the Kemetic version of it, there's the Japanese art form of it, but either way, like we have learned the science behind it rather than just like going off of pure intuition. So again, just that connectivity of just seeing, like, we see it every day in almost like certain settings. We just have to be able to open our eyes up to what is actually happening as well.
Exactly. And so, that's a very good point. So, you'll have your statues of the Virgin Mary, a lot of different saints. So why is it wrong to have your picture of your grandmother or your great grandmother up, or your great great grandmother, So,
or even the Orishas, for instance, because oftentimes we look at like the Virgin Mary or all these different saints, but there's studies that's showing that the Orishas predate these saints. And if anything, like, these saints are actually the whitewashed version of the Orishas. But why is it that like everything is villainized anytime like something is Black or of African descent too? Yeah.
Exactly. I see why you're not chewing popcorn.
Well, she breaking her fast too, so
I know. I am breaking my fast. So I was like, look, y'all, I've been doing intermittent fasting, eating from 12 to 8. And so I'm like, if I'm breaking it, I'm breaking it. If I'm going to drink wine, I might as well have some popcorn. Cheers. But that's the thing, like, you don't have to be rigid with anything, right? And one of the things, speaking of ancestors, I was with my ancestors, and I'm going through this where I'm trying to do specific healing, and I'll talk about it later. I'm not right now, not ready to talk about it right now, but I will later down the road. And so when I was sitting and meditating with my ancestors, they were like, you need to have fun. You need to have fun.
Yeah.
Dance and play and have fun. Yeah. Right. And so that's the thing that's important. Like, when we connect with our ancestors, they're here guiding us, helping us, because they know what we're going through. They feel our pain.
Yeah.
And they know that I'm being so good and I'm doing, this intermittent fasting, and I'm eating right, like not eating meat, beef, and pork, and all of these things. And I haven't been drinking in a long time. So I told Bella, I was like, this one glass of wine might have me like toasted.
It's the balance, and you're listening to your body. You're listening to what your guides are telling you to. So, I mean, I feel like that's where our real abundance is too, is in the balance.
Yes.
And That's so cool too, because in my reading too, like
Mhm.
that's why the cowgirl popped up, because it was just like being in your free spirited energy. Like that's what I took from the reading, was just like the more happy go lucky that I am,
Mhm.
the more everything just gravitates towards me, and I don't have to work so hard for the things that I truly desire.
Mhm.
And so it's like, yeah, let me start balancing fun. It's hard because my workaholic tendencies be taking over sometimes.
I know. Mine too. My
Yeah.
workaholic Virgo tendencies. And it's like, it's so easy to get so focused.
Mhm.
And so that is like what you said is key
Mhm.
to healing. It's that balance,
Mhm.
right? Like doing with the work, doing the healing stuff, but also having fun.
Mhm.
Because if you can't laugh, if you can't play, if you can't enjoy yourself, you're creating illness and disease in the body.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like our ancestors didn't have the space to be able to take breaks and have fun and just even have these type of conversations and stuff like that, because they were too busy in survival mode. So it's like, it's not only in our birthright, but it's also like healing for our lineage to be able to have fun and play and do those things too.
So true. I love that. So when we are healing, when we are playing and having fun, it is healing our lineage. Yes. Love that. Oh my God. Yeah.
So one topic I do like to talk about when it comes to spirituality is discernment and everything, because among everything, or like everything, there's always trends in pop culture. And right now I feel as if spirituality is a part of pop culture. So much so to where it's like you definitely have to be discerning as far as who you go to, just the same way that you can't just go to anybody's church or anybody's mosque and stuff like that and just trust them with your spirit. I think that it's necessary that we talk about discernment within the spiritual community as well. That's just because a lot of people gravitate mainly, especially when they're new to spirituality, they tend to gravitate towards those who are spiritual influencers, those who are actually doing the work of the spirituality, because there's tons of people who like to talk about like the benefits of veganism, but then you see them one day randomly at a burger joint,
right?
Or
they not the slutty vegan burger joint,
right? At that. Or like they'll talk about Tantra, and sometimes Tantra gets misused, I guess, or abused as well, just because it's like some people use that as like almost like clickbait or pandering in order to get people to participate in exotic kink play. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lane for everything, but it's also misleading because there's differences too within Tantra and kink as well. So what would you say as a person who's either new or is kind of jaded within the spiritual community? What would you say as far as like how they should use their discernment in whatever spaces that they enter into?
That is a great question. And it's so funny because I was just having this conversation today with a friend of mine. We were literally having this conversation. And we actually kind of started talking about the Tantra and the kink and all the differences and stuff like that. So, and one of the things I was saying before I start saying, to answer your question, one of the things that I was saying is partly why I haven't really started talking so much about Tantra and the tantric massage work that I do is because there's just a lot of people out there who misuse the energy. But we started talking about that after we started talking about, there's just a lot of things like you're saying with Tantra. Tantra is very powerful. And so there's a lot of teachers out there who use that energy to take advantage of people, right? Coming to them. And so, and not just with Tantra, with kink, with BDSM, religion. You got pastors and priests taking advantage of, the people in their congregation, right? So it's really important when we talk about discernment, is us learning how to listen to ourselves and to our body. Because when you come in, like somebody comes in, like you came in, and it's instantly, oh, wow, I love you. And it's like, it felt great having her in here, right? And I had a client, for example, just today I was talking to, she got into Uber and the Uber driver made her feel like it wasn't anything that he did, but she felt like, she felt scared. And she's texting her husband like, oh my God, I don't feel safe in this Uber, you know?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he did anything. She made it safe, but you know, he could have been a creep. Like, who knows? So
Yeah.
when using discernment, you have to be able to trust what you're feeling.
Okay.
And sometimes, and part of the conversation I was having with my friend today, sometimes people are in a vulnerable state because they're looking for someone to
Right.
help them and to save them.
Exactly.
So they're going to come on to a teacher that may not have the best intentions.
Exactly.
Right? And so you have to be able to be aware of the surroundings, what they're saying, what they're doing, how they're reacting with other people. And yet, even me as a Tantra practitioner, Tantra therapist, I have to use discernment with my clients.
Okay.
You know, which is why I haven't been talking so much, because I like talking about my tantric massage. I've been doing everything else, like the cacao ceremonies, the hape, because even with tantric massage, I can get people who want to come to me for the wrong reasons, who just want to get rocked off.
Yeah,
happy
endings. Yeah, I got you.
And when I do tantric massage, it's a serious thing. It's to help people who've been sexually abused, who have trauma, who have different blockages, different things. And I'm not just trying to get you to have a happy ending. And so I'm like, I haven't gotten into that space to really start advertising that here in Atlanta yet. You know?
Okay.
But so I bring that up to say going slow and trusting and observing first.
Okay.
Feeling, getting to know.
Okay.
So like if you want to start working with a Tantra teacher, for example, follow them on Instagram.
Yeah.
See what you see, and not just the numbers, because there's a lot of people out there that have like 100,000 followers, and they know all the right things to say. They know how to, you know, do the algorithms. They know how to do all of that stuff. So they're getting people, right? They're getting followers.
Right.
But you might have somebody that have 100 followers that's doing the work, that's very authentic. So part of the discernment is not rushing and just watching,
right,
and just feeling and asking for guidance, asking your spirit guides, your ancestors, the beings that's with you all the time to lead you to the right person.
Right. I think that has helped me as far as listening, because when I first moved back to Atlanta, I wanted to go to, it was advertised as Tantra, but then when I was seeing like the other, like leading up to the event, I was like, oh, this is kink. I got dressed, I was ready to go. And then I kept hearing human trafficking. I was just like, really? Oh my God, like, let me turn around. So I didn't even go to the event. But and even if it wasn't to that extreme, because I've seen later on in different circles, people who were attending the event, but even to that extreme, it's just like, I'd rather listen to my gut at that point than to put myself in situations to where something could happen. Especially since we are in Atlanta, anything can happen anywhere in any parts of Atlanta, one. And two, I think another thing that helped me with my discernment is I've been blessed enough to have like different sisters, like sisters in different circles, where it's like we'll see different things that's happening and then we'll go to those things together, to where it's like it's almost like healing together, where we're like, hey, these are the things that we want to work on individually. What are things that you want to work on in order to help you grow? How do we help each other? Right. Let's go to these different events. Or, hey, I know you want to start meditating. I saw this meditation circle over here. I want to start doing yoga. They start looking out for me, to where it's like, a lot of times there's a lot of things that I wanted to do, but I just was by myself at that time. But I was blessed enough to start finding like those sisters who were able to kind of go to those things with me. And people talk at the end of the day. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions of or people's opinions, because it's been several cases to where it's like I've talked to certain sisters and they're like, yeah, like, they're cool, it's magical over here, but get what you need and leave. Because if you get caught up in the politics and how they function and how you want to join what they got going on, that might be down to your, it might lead to your downfall. So yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing, to be able to find like other people to kind of travel with and do those type of things as well.
So those of you who are on, how do you use discernment? Like, what do you use? Like, how do you know if something's right for you to do or to go to? That's fine. I was gonna highlight that. That's all right. Yeah. So what are some of the things that you do to help you? So I know for me also on the realm of discernment is I get like a strong knowing, if that makes sense. So I'm very intuitive in that sense where if I'm supposed to be going somewhere, it'll happen, like everything will conspire for me to go.
Right.
And then if I'm not, like sometimes like I might get a headache or I don't feel good, you know, or even one of the things that I notice, people don't even come into my house.
Okay. Really?
That have ill intentions and things like that.
Okay.
I've had times where I've met people when I was living in Brazil here, and I'm like, oh, come over. And things happen that they can never make it over.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's a reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so oftentimes when we connect and you meditate, meditation is one of the biggest things that helps with discernment because you're getting out of your mind. And I'm very much a heady person.
Same.
I'll be in my head. But when we drop down into our body, into our heart space, into our womb space, into our solar plexus, we can feel. And we can feel and open to the different things around us that's constantly giving us clues as to what to do and what not to do.
Right. Like it could be like, I don't know the answer to this, but then as soon as you turn on the radio, a song start playing and it's like, okay, like this is the message that I needed to see. Or you're driving down the highway and you see a billboard with a message that's just like so very clear what you needed to see.
Right.
So that's so cool.
Shout out me knowing this popcorn. I
haven't
had popcorn in so long. I haven't had popcorn in so long. And I love me some popcorn. You saw me popping it on the stove.
Right. I haven't had stovetop popcorn in a while.
So I try not to use the microwave. But similar, right? Similar to that is when you think about the church, right? You can pop open the Bible. You pop open the Bible and you can read something. Like you can be like trying to figure something out, pop open the Bible. There's a message right there. So that same way.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, like, for people who are religious, like, what do you think in terms of what can they do to open themselves up, to be more open to spirituality, to like,
I think what even helped me to move from just being so rigid with how I saw God was looking at the fact that like, and everybody says that whether you're religious or not, like we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Right.
So why should we as spiritual beings limit ourselves, so to say, with what man has told us and what we should and shouldn't do to experience heaven or hell afterwards, when in actuality, like even my great aunt used to say this, is like, you don't have to die in order to figure out what hell feels like. And to me, that's more so a mentality more than anything. So it's like, why don't you just open up your mind to, well, one, to understand that like sometimes it's our experiences of how we view things is why we continue certain cycles and patterns in our life through our mentality, one. And then two, I would say, just one, starting off with saying that, hey, like we are spiritual before we are human at the end of the day. So like, don't fixate so much on the human experience to where it's like, you might be going to church all day, every day of the week, but you might not get the same evolution that you might experience just going once a week to a yoga class or something like that. So where it's like, why limit your spiritual growth or your expansion just because you were told to do something or you were brought up and raised into one experience? I would say like start that way. Two, the beautiful thing too about like spirituality is it's like there's different dimensions and stuff like that. And I know we are always taught that like things are either black and white, good and bad, God versus the devil when it comes to the religion and stuff like that. But the higher dimensions that we enter into as well, it's as if like those things don't exist. It's all one and the same. So duality is key when it comes to balance, especially within our human experience. But if you really choose to see God in everything, and I mean in everything, even in the bad, like it's not happening to us, it's happening for us, for our own personal evolution. Whether we see these demons that we like to claim them to be, or it could be our shadows, because nothing happens to us without our permission at the end of the day. Whether, because I mean, I feel like demons are real. Like
I do too.
Spirits are spirits, energies are energies. At the end of the day, like those things exist, but they can only impact us as long as we give them permission to. One, and so like even if you weren't to be encountered with a demon or a dark spirit or a shadow or anything like that, like that's also a chance to actually grow. To see like why is this encountering me? What is it reflecting within me for me to challenge myself to grow? So once you start seeing God in everything, because again, it's like sometimes those bad things happen in order for us to grow and experience like our evolution too.
Yeah. I agree with that. You're so wise.
I tried.
She's so young. Well, young in comparison to me, right?
Young-ish, baby. I'm an auntie now. Auntie status.
One time for the aunties. Two time for the aunties. Oh, I'm auntie status too. Pretty soon I'll probably be great auntie. Oh yeah, I'm about to be great auntie. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Getting older. About to be great auntie.
Oh my goodness.
Whew, child. Lord, I just forgot what I was about to say. Thinking about being a great auntie.
I don't think it's that. I think it's this.
It might be that. It might be that. All right, y'all help me out. Y'all quiet today.
Right.
Y'all quiet. Come on. Talk. Let us know.
We know y'all online. We see y'all.
We see y'all. I'm trying to eat popcorn so y'all can talk. But what was I about to say?
We were talking about, well, I last ended off saying like God is in everything. Like no matter, there's nothing in this whole entire world, in this whole entire universe, in every realm, dimension, all that stuff. Like God, the energy of God, which is love at the end of the day, like there's nothing that God is not present in.
All right, so you made me remember. Thank you. It's interesting you said that, right? Because I was just also talking to another friend. I talk a lot to friends, I see. But I was really like feeling a certain way, right? Like I would be on a plane going somewhere or just in general, and I'll see somebody eating who looks real healthy. Because you never know what somebody's going through, right? So I say look healthy, and they're eating, those junk food and stuff like that. And they look good, like eating, and I'm just like, damn, why can't I do that? Because I'm seriously going through this whole cleansing process. I've been doing detox after detox, cleansing. Because again, I'm working on something specific, but I'm going to let y'all know later. I'm going to talk about that later on a different day. And so it was kind of like, why do I have to fight all of this disease and illness, right? Like I have to make sure I'm not eating processed food. I'm not eating junk food. I'm not doing all of this. And I was feeling so upset, pissed, angry. I was angry. And that is real. I was angry. I was like, why? This isn't fair. But then I had to shift that. Well, a shift came. And it was like, why are you angry? You have these things because, like you said, it's an opportunity for you to grow and heal. And so God wants something more for me.
Yeah.
My ancestors want something more for me. And what they want from me is I need to be in a pure state so that I can receive that. And being in that pure state means that I have to make sure that I'm eating right. I'm exercising so that my blood pressure is not skyrocketing, so that my sugar levels are not skyrocketing, so that my cholesterol is not skyrocketing. I don't need to be on medication, and I can have a clear head. so that I can be ready to do the work that God wants for me.
Yeah, that, and to be able to be the example for other people who may be going through the same thing too as well.
Yes.
Because it's easy to Google stuff. It's easy to listen, watch videos on people's testimonials, but it's more personable to have someone who's like tangible to be able to see their transformation as well.
Right. So Kwan says she follows her gut always.
Kwan.
I know. Kwan.
I just did a Reiki sound. It was something we did. I'm sorry. It's the wine. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. We did something on Tuesday on Zoom.
Oh, her 7-day Reiki? Yeah, I did it today and Monday.
Okay, so I did it Tuesday.
I did it Monday and today.
Hi, Kwan.
And she's doing it tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Okay.
So y'all, okay, now that we're talking about Kwan, if you want to come up on here and join us, let us know. I'll send you the link and you can join us. Yes, let me go ahead and highlight this real quick. Kwan, let us know. Yes, that soul never lies. And if you are connected to your guides and ancestors, they will let you know. So Kwan is doing this amazing 7-day Reiki healing session. And it's free $99. So you ain't got no reason not to join. But it's good. It's Kundalini activation, not Reiki. But it's kind of similar. In a sense. So, you know what? Kwan, let me send you the StreamYard just in case you decide you want to come on.
Please and thank you.
You can just come on.
Yeah, it's funny though, because I feel like I was introduced to spirituality through Reiki. And Reiki was like a real, like, almost like a subtle but balancing experience for me versus Kundalini. Woo! Kundalini is that fire that's gonna purify, that's gonna boom bam, like pull up some stuff and just like right then and there for me. And so ever since I feel like I've had a Kundalini awakening, my solar plexus, it's like there's time where I'm just like, oh, I just want to sleep in, and then it's like boom, 6:30, I feel my solar plexus just like on fire, lifting me up out the bed, like, okay, time to go. Let's go do something, be productive. But yeah. Ooh, Kundalini. I love it. I love this whole world though, because I feel like spirituality has allowed me to face God and the universe and just like love myself more at the end of the day, because it's really the embodiment of ourselves that we really get in contact with God the most. Because I feel like sometimes with religion, there's a lot of tendencies that we have to go outside of ourselves to find God, but like spirituality has taught me to really like go within myself to find God. So.
That is a great key difference. So with religion, you have to go through a third person, right? Like, for example, you got to go through the priest and talk about your sins and ask for forgiveness or whatever, you know. But spirituality is about going within, like you said, finding that stuff out for yourself. And we are so powerful. We are powerful beyond measure. And we need to remember who we are and what we are. We are powerful beings, and we don't need a third person or a second person or somebody else to intercede in our behalf. We need to remember who we are and what we can do. And that is through meditation, breath work, and being present, and stillness, and having fun, y'all.
And prayer too.
And prayer.
Because I used to be a prayer warrior as a kid, but that was because my great aunt, every summer I used to visit her and she had prayer circles. And I remember it was like elderly women who would come to me and ask for me to pray for them. And my great aunt, there would be times she was like, that prayer didn't leave the ceiling. And that used to make me so mad. Because I'm like, I put my heart and my soul in Jesus, thank you in the name. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's not only just about the the conviction behind it. It's really like the intentions
Mm-hmm.
that we put in behind our prayer. And I feel like that's even through Islam. That's what I found to be really true. It's like, it's our intentions at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I feel like, again, everything started clicking a little bit more once I switched over to spirituality, just because it's like, at the end of the day, we might do the rituals of, you, like you said, eating good, being healthy, doing all these things to stay in alignment. But if our intentions isn't in line, if our beliefs that we have isn't in alignment with our intentions,
Mm-hmm.
such as like we actually don't believe that we deserve wealth and abundance and good health and all that stuff, if we don't believe those type of things, which shows where our intentions lie, then what is it worth to even practice those type of things?
Right.
So yeah.
Right. I agree. Definitely agree. Y'all. She can have the wine.
I'm gonna have it.
I'm gonna have the popcorn. Look, I can't stop. I can't stop.
Yeah, I know she can get some more.
Mm-mm. Oh, she can give me. She
Just
gonna give
a
me
little
more wine.
bit, just a little
She
bit.
tried to get me tipsy.
Drink it to the middle.
Good thing I ain't gotta drive nowhere. So, what were you just saying?
Drink it to the middle. Poetic justice. I'm an enabler, y'all. So if y'all ever need somebody to hype you up on anything, that's me. That's me. I like peer pressure too, so
I love it. I need it. So it's funny because look, tomorrow, if you want to be the peer pressure, let's go out tomorrow then. We gotta stay in tonight because I'm not trying to economic blackout.
You know what? I'm not babysitting tomorrow, so I got you.
Okay, this is right. So this is so needed. Sisters. So it's like when you need somebody and you're like, I need to go out and have fun. We need to have somebody we can call on and be like, let's do this. Get me out. Make sure you get me out. Because I'm really bad.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bad.
I'm saying,
You probably already
I
noticed.
work a lot. I work a lot.
Yeah,
so
me
it's
too.
just like, I told myself, like, starting this year, I'm gonna, even if it's just once a month, I
Yeah.
need to get out and
Yeah.
shake my ass. Because shaking your ass is healing. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
If I get my PhD, it's an ass shaking, because twerking is healing for the creative soul. You are moving your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus. All of that movement is channeling and moving a lot of energy up and beyond. And it's fun and it's healing. So yeah, if you ready to twerk, I got you.
Ready.
Okay.
So
because I'm a little wild.
People been talking, ooh, child, can I handle that?
If you get embarrassed easily, then
I don't get embarrassed easily.
Okay, well,
no, I don't get embarrassed easily.
Yeah, you might just. I know. I'm into.
I lived in a Tantra commune.
Okay.
Where we were walking around naked,
Ooh.
twerking all the time.
Twerking.
Okay. Shaking, do all kinds of stuff in a Tantra commune.
I mean, it makes sense though, because it's like you're free.
Yeah, you're free.
You're in a safe space to be free at that.
Yeah.
So
having orgasms all the time. Okay, just let me stop drinking. So Tantra, let's go back to, you were talking about kink. You were going later when we get off of this. I want to know where you were going to go.
Okay.
Because I wonder if it's the person that I know.
I still have the Instagram. Probably.
Oh yes, I know. Okay, I know who you're talking about. Okay. Okay. That was a good instinct. You had not to go.
Okay, good. Because
even though people said okay, I kind of feel that same way about this person.
Okay.
So anyway,
because I was like, man, that's $40 down the drain, but no, that could have been something easily that went left. So
yeah, and even though it might not have in that moment, you might have, who knows? You might have been sucked in. Whatever. There's a lot of predators out here.
Yeah, especially again, like when you are really searching for something. You will go down at whatever path it takes for you to find that something. And especially if you don't know, because I don't know, like when it comes to a lot of my friendships, especially my family, I'm the black sheep when it comes to my family, but It's been I would say like up until me moving down here and like finding people like you, honor yoga and stuff like that. It's been a lonely journey for me.
I
So
bet.
it's just definitely had to take a lot of discernment along the way.
It does. All right, so let me ask you, what are some similarities that you might have noticed between spirituality and religion? Guys, who's on here? Let us know if you if you want to chime in any similarities between religion and spirituality, discernment, if you want to comment about anything we've talked about.
I would say, so my degree's in theater.
Or if you have any questions. If you have any specific questions, go ahead and ask too. Child, I'm getting hot. All right. Y'all, this is funny. It's about to be 3D pretty soon. I mean, 3D? No, that's not 3D. What's the word? Not 3D. It's about to be rated X, rated R in a minute.
Oh my God.
I gotta stop drinking. I gotta stop drinking wine. She gave me, look, she about to pour more wine. Don't do it.
Oh
my God. Ooh, I'm getting hot. I'm having hot flashes, y'all.
Oh my God. Wait, I wasn't ready. Wait.
Oh, shoot. I might have to turn on the fan. Hold up. Go stop talking. I got to turn on the fan. I'm getting hot, y'all.
Woo.
Lord, I haven't drank forever. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Woo. It's been like, it's only been like 5-6 months since I drank alcohol.
Look at her eyes, y'all.
Look what she done did to me.
It's just wine, y'all.
Imagine if it was cocktails.
Oh my gosh. She would have been laid out by now.
I'd be like this.
All right, we got to end this, y'all. It was nice talking to y'all. Silly.
Oh, but I love this. So I love this because, for real, like, I love this because one of the things that even Christ said, be childlike. Osho, when you follow Tantra, he says, be childlike.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not childish, it's childlike in nature.
Yeah.
Having fun, laughing. This is what I needed, y'all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is what I needed. Because this is healing. When you can really just let go and just laugh. So my question was, what are the similarities between, what did I ask you? Spirituality between spirituality and religion?
What did I find to be similar between the two?
Okay, yes. My question is, what do you find similar between the two?
Okay, so my degree is in theater.
Oh, that's what you said.
And it kind of broke me down to be able to see everything as either rituals or spectacles.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see rituals and spectacles in both realms, so to say, to where it's like just the same way. Okay, for instance, my mother, she's a whole witch. She just don't know it yet.
Right.
Or she probably don't remember it because as soon as you walk in the house, there's a broomstick. Well, not a broomstick, but it's like a cinnamon stick. When you first walk in, or I remember like first of the month blowing cinnamon into the house, or there's like random crystals, and then in the living room or dining room, one of those rooms you're really not supposed to sit into,
right,
there is a bar. One is a bar, but on the top is like a white cloth that has a bowl of candy in it, a Bible, obituaries of our different loved ones, and like a
ancestor altar.
That's what I'm saying. And then like a Snoopy, because Snoopy is her favorite character. So it's just like, again, it's an altar to where it's like, mom, like, and then when I first asked her if I could have an altar in the house to honor our ancestors, and she was just like, "What does that entail?" But then when I told her, and I
Like
broke
what you got.
exactly, I had to
Mhm.
just show her to her. I'm like, we subconsciously participate in like the rituals, so to say. We're not even realizing what the origins and backgrounds of it. Or to me, like a good, I guess, like
I gotta
segue.
drink my water, y'all.
You better drink the rest of that wine too.
Bad influence.
I told you I'm an enabler, so. But yeah, so another like I guess like good segue too to kind of show the bridge is hoodoo for me, because hoodoo like is almost as if it's like folk magic that uses like the book of Psalms, or you're using like passages from the Bible in order to do like magic basically, or you're using like herbalisms in order to help heal the body.
Right.
So I feel like hoodoo is something that's almost like the blendage of like Catholicism, indigenous Native American practices, things that came over from Africa, and even European like paganisms and stuff like that. I feel like that's just like one big old gumbo pot of just different like spectacles and rituals that we do that we don't know the origins behind it, but it's almost as if it's like embedded in us because we saw our grandmothers, we saw our great aunties, uncles and them practicing those things, and we just went along with it without having to question why are we doing it.
Right. So that's the thing. Like, my mom had an ancestor altar as well.
Okay.
But she never called it that.
Okay.
And we didn't know what that was. Like, I just remember seeing a dresser, a white cloth, and the pictures of, her mom who passed, different people or whatever. And so I'm just like, now that I'm doing now that I have an ancestor altar, I realized what that was.
Okay.
But we never really had to talk about spirituality. We never really had to talk about anything. And my family's from Haiti. So, so our thing is voodoo, right? Which I guess is kind of maybe similar to hoodoo.
There's a lot of voodoo influences in hoodoo.
Okay, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never studied hoodooism. I still haven't studied voodoo. But I am taking a Haitian folkloric medicine, like a plant medicine course. So I'm starting to learn more things now.
Okay.
And I feel like now she's finally getting some popcorn. I done ate a whole bowl, y'all.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some while I can.
Right. I made 2 bowls. I finished this one. Now she's finally starting this one. But yeah, so what was I saying?
Voodoo.
Yeah, so I'm starting to study that now.
Okay.
I'm starting to study that now and just go deeper in my spirituality. Like I really, like my ancestors were really wanting me to connect and go deeper.
For the sake of your own personal journey or for helping others?
That's a good question. I don't know yet.
Okay. You're just following the call.
I'm just following the call because this course that I'm taking, this apprenticeship, is a 9-month course. And everybody that's in there, they're taking it to work with herbalism, to work with the plant medicine, like, to heal others and to work with others. But that wasn't in my kind of line of work to do.
Okay.
Nor was Reiki, nor was Tantra. So who knows? Because I've always worked as a psychotherapist, right? And so my work was like to work as a psychotherapist and to do that. And then next thing you know, I learned Reiki. Then I started working with Reiki. Then I learned Tantra. Then I started working with Tantra. Then I learned shamanism. Then I started working with plant medicine, Hape, cacao. And now I'm about to learn more plant medicines. So Pandara Prim means to go with the flow of love and life.
Okay.
So I'm going with the flow.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens.
Nice.
you know? Yeah. So let's see. Is there anything else? Like, should we come? Like, is there anything else that we need to talk about for
Wrapping up.
Yeah. Anything else you felt called to talk about with in terms of spirituality and religion?
Um, I would say that even just the same way we were talking about people within the religious community of like how to open up your heart towards, or people have an open mind towards what's happening in the spiritual world. I say even with the spiritual community, be open-minded towards people who are still in the religious lane, because sometimes it may have taken someone to take the religious route to become a better person. So who are we to even judge them or shadow shame in the sense of they're taking that route? Because I've comments of like, oh, they're Christians, they're stupid. And that's not fair in my opinion, just because it's like what a person believes in is what their journey is.
Right.
But who are we to like cast that judgment? Because 9 times out of 10, we are the black sheeps of our family. We are the ones who almost had to do whatever it took for us to branch away from the norm, which probably wasn't an easy journey within itself. So why not keep like an open mind towards those who are still experiencing religion? Because again, if God is present in everything, then maybe their experience of God is in religion. And that's probably what's best for them.
Right.
So yeah, I just think even within the spiritual community, don't even condemn other people for not knowing what they don't know, because at some point we didn't know what we don't know. And if anything, spirituality is more so even a remembrance of what we know, because again, all of these things are innate in us. It's a part of our birthright. I think it's just our conditioning as humans. It caused us to be so disconnected to where we forgot what we came here to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just as spiritual beings, spiritual practitioners, whether if you're a student or a teacher, just keep an open heart, keep an open mind. Just always like, if anything, if we could be the beacons of light and love towards other people, let's do that, not only for the spiritual community, but even those who are practicing religion still too. So yeah.
Yes. I love that. I love that. That's I love that. You're like so wise. She is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just love being able to have like these conversations, and this was actually a lot of fun. I love this. So all of my lives have been like the other person in their place, and I'm here.
We would not have been doing this right now.
I know.
To me, I'm just, when it comes to technology, like the older I get, I'll be like, how did you do hickin' work? Like,
is she like half my age?
I don't know. I just be so like, there's parts of me is just like, I just want to go off the grid and disappear, but then my gifts and talents puts me in spaces where I can't. So I'm like, okay, so the happy medium is me coming in person, because I would have been at home still. What time is it now? Still trying to figure out how to get onto this live, because
but I like this. And it was fun and it was nice. So I definitely feel like I would love to incorporate people coming in here. And if you just came on the live, say hi, let us know who you are. Coming here and doing, because it's just such a different vibe. It's a different vibe when you're in person and you're talking than when you're both in your different homes. You're right in your box and just talking. So go ahead and share. Let's type it in. Hold on, I'm gonna have to bring this laptop closer. Go ahead and type your Instagram.
Okay.
Info.
So I'm gonna type in my personal, and I changed it. I change it like every 3 months, because I'm still finding myself. I'm still evolving, so I want that to match the flow of how I'm flowing. But I go by I am Bella Harris for my personal page.
I like that she just said that, because we are constantly work in progress. So we're constantly evolving. And I literally just in 2 weeks changed my name and I added doctor. in front of
Okay.
Pandara Prim. Because people kept saying, why don't you got to add doctor, you're a doctor. And I didn't really feel like I'm a doctor because, it's like, I'm an ordained minister. Oh my God, Natasha. Hey, girl, I haven't seen you in forever. How are you? Oh my God. Like, I'm so happy to have you on here. And I see more people are coming. So look, y'all, so yes, Natasha was on, I think you were on my very first Brazil retreat. So speaking of Brazil retreat, I am going to be doing, thank you. She learns quick. She's like, let me put this up here so everybody can see.
Attention.
Yeah, she paid attention. That's what these youngins been doing. These youngins be paying attention. But yes, Natasha, I think you came on my first or second retreat that I ever had in Brazil. So I'm gonna put that up right there, and then I'll show yours again real quick from my Brazil retreat. And she lives here in Atlanta. She's in the ATL.
Okay.
Yes. So you will have to come to one of our workshops here. But just real quick, speaking of retreats, since she brought that up, I am going to be doing a retreat in Brazil, January 29th, January 27th to February 5th. And this time it's going to be with ayahuasca. So normally my retreats are for women of color, where we're working on the womb space. We're doing tantric healing work. This time is going to be for men and women and of color, men and women. But we're going to be working on healing in general, really going deep down into releasing what you need. We're going to be working on, we're going to take ayahuasca, we're going to do kambo, hape, cacao, working on that heart space. So really quick, I'm going to talk about ayahuasca. Ayahuasca it's a plant medicine that helps you to answer questions you may not have even known that you had. It's going to help you. It's like drinking a dose of yourself. Cheers to drinking a dose of yourself. And it's like when you drink it, you're connecting to who you are, who your essence is, who your true self is. You start to connect more with nature and everything around you. You hear, you see visions from your ancestors. The very first time I partook in ancestor medicine, my dad came to me. My dad who had passed the year before I did it. Yeah, 2009 he passed. I did it, drank the first time in 2010. And he was talking to me, telling me things that I really, needed to work on, right? And so this is something that gives us information. It helps us to heal, gives us what we need. And so Kambo is a vaccination. It helps us with our immune system. It really helps us with so many different things. So I have grown so much. I've healed so much from this. So I wanted to be able to offer this. And I'm doing this in Brazil, January 27th to February 5th.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So y'all, if go ahead and follow Bella at I am Bella Harris or Liberated Threads. I'm gonna have to join follow you on Liberated Threads.
Yeah.
I'm just on the I am Bella. Are you sure it's I am Bella Harris?
Yeah, I just
it's not
changed
the therapist,
it.
or you just changed
it. I'm going through some changes because it's like I want to be okay. I am a creatrix. I'm claiming that because not only do I know that I am a goddess that is creating her own reality, I feel as if creativity is my religion. And even Tantra has helped me to really just like, how do I channel that energy throughout my whole entire body to create my reality?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's like, okay, let me just kind of like keep I am Bella Harris as like the umbrella of me versus Liberated Threads. That's my personal brand. And it's evolved with me. Like I've learned how to sew. Well, it's kind of random because my freshman year I modeled, And then my sophomore year, I was like, I'm gonna make my own line of clothing. And then I never touched a sewing machine or anything like that. But between the other designers who rallied around me to help me learn how to sew for the show, and my look was featured in my front page of my school's newspaper, that kind of like really just boosted me up. But I sunk into like a really deep, I'm talking about like non-functioning, I had to take medication type of depression. And the only thing that kept me from drinking myself into a stupor or even taking the medication was learning how to sew. So going to the lost and found boxes of my dorm and deconstructing them, putting them back together so I can just teach myself how to make more clothes, just that act of mindfulness, being fully present in myself, where it's like there's my inner child who's like, oh, I got all these ideas. And then it's like I hear my elders and my spirit guides talking to me of like, this is how we make it happen, because I don't know where this comes from. Right. But yeah, it's just like, to me, there's nothing that makes me feel like I'm in the most meditative state than being behind a sewing machine. So that's the beginning journeys versus like post-college. I've just done a lot. I've done fashion shows, I've done music videos, I've done women empowerment conferences. I've done a lot. But now that I'm evolving to where it's like, when I did the Reiki and Kundalini, I've always felt like I had to always compartmentalize myself versus now it's like, F it. Like, right. I don't have to compartmentalize. I don't have to hide this. This is not something I need to be ashamed of. This is something to where it's like, it has helped me in my own spiritual awakening. Like me trying to get to the root of my creative blockages led to my spiritual awakening. And within that, me discovering who I am and what I am and who I belong to at the end of the day, I feel like I want to be able to show how spirituality is a key component towards creativity and how I can use this to fuse this into my clothing, to help models in their confidence, to help myself in my confidence, to help people feel good within themselves in their clothing that they're wearing. So that's my evolution as far as like where I am when it comes to retail therapy. I'm really putting like the emphasis on therapy, because at the end of the day, it's nothing wrong with buying things for the sake of coping. Because, you know, like sometimes you got to go to Amazon to get that quick
item
just so you can feel better. And it's nothing wrong with that.
Try other places other
than Amazon. Oh, yeah, we're in the blackout phase. I'm sorry. Right. I'm just saying, like, it's nothing wrong.
Find Black-owned businesses.
Yes. It's nothing
or
wrong
Etsy,
with
maybe.
It's nothing wrong with shopping as a coping mechanism. However, that might just give you a quick fix. It doesn't get to the root causes of why you have the stress, anxiety, depression that led to you want to shop in the first place. Mm-hmm. So again, it's just like me using like Tantra and Kundalini, Reiki play. Let's twerk. Yeah. Let's twerk.
So I like that you said getting to the root.
Yeah.
Because everything you have to get to the root, right? Mm-hmm. So I think you have to be aware. And if you're conscious that, okay, I'm shopping and I'm spending money because I feel, I feel blah.
Yeah.
The important thing is that you feel conscious of it.
Yeah.
And okay, so you're going and you're spending money to help with this. But it's like, what's the root cause?
Right. Right.
And so it's important to get to the root cause. Mm-hmm. And so you can get to the root cause from doing therapy, from meditating, doing hape sessions. If you ever want to do a hape session, hit your girl up. You know, but on a serious note, like, you know, doing the work to figure out, okay, what's going on underneath this? And it's really sitting with, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? What is happening right now in this moment? Right. And making the conscious decision. Because sometimes, like, I'm consciously eating this popcorn and drinking this wine. But tomorrow I'm going back onto my detox and my healthy eating.
Balance is key.
Balance is key.
Yeah.
So I know for myself as well, at times I go out on a shopping spree. But I'm also conscious of when I'm doing it and why. And I make sure I have the money in my bank account.
Right.
So
where it's like less reactive, less responsive, or less reactive, less impulsive, but more like, okay, I'm buying this because this is helping me, rather than like, I just want to fix this real quick.
Right. And sometimes I'm like, look, I want to feel good. Let me just buy something. I'm not feeling good right now. I'm gonna buy something.
Yeah.
It's gonna make me feel good. But I'm also gonna do the work to make myself feel good. Right? I'm gonna do the meditation. I'm gonna do the breath work.
Yeah.
So as if you're on here and you're new, I see probably a couple of new people on here. Say hi, let us know who you are, who's on here. Just like to see who's visiting us. I know there's gonna be other people watching the replay. But as we're on live, I like to see who's on here right now. Say hi. And we don't went to retail therapy. We went from religion and spirituality to all kinds of stuff.
It's all one and the same. I see God in everything, and God is in me when I'm making clothes, when I'm helping other people through this. So,
yeah. And so I love that, because God is in everything. And if you're just coming on, one of the things that we talked about earlier is God is in everything. And so even if something happens that you don't like illness, or somebody says something, or something's going on, God is in that. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens to bring us to another place, to another state, for our highest good. And I remember having a conversation with my brother. So my oldest brother, I think he's he is 20 years older than me. I was about to say, think. He is exactly 20 years older than me. I'm 50. Ooh, he's 50. I said how old I was. Oops. That's that wine. Women don't be saying our age. Dang, I done said how old I was.
Well, you look good.
Thank you.
50 where?
What? 50 where? And look, I look better than when I was 35, y'all. And I feel better than when I was 35. So that's the thing. Okay, all right. I was about to talking about something else. Okay, let me go back to
your
my
brother. Yeah.
Conversation with my brother. So he's 20 years older than me, right? And I went to Houston because I have a client in Houston, and it was literally supposed to be for a day trip, right? I got a part-time job as a flight attendant. But anyway, so I went to New Orleans. I flew to New Orleans, and I love having these benefits to be able to fly. But anyway, I went to see my client, and I was supposed to come back because I was supposed to go to her birthday. But my brother had a contract in New Orleans, and he was going back to Texas because his contract ended. And so it was the same day that I happened to be there. Like, it just kind of worked out. But everything happens as it's supposed to, right? And so my brother was like, he literally flew in that same day. And he was like, he's driving back the next day to Texas. And so he's 70. So I had to drive back with him. I didn't have to. I chose to. He was like, it would be nice to have the company, have somebody to drive back that 6 hours with. And so my brother and I, we have such a huge age difference that we haven't really even talked so much. Dang, I done forgot why I brought this up. But anyway, so we were driving back to Texas. Oh yeah, I remember now. So we were driving back to Texas, and y'all, she done made me drink too much wine. I can't even remember what I'm talking about. So I hadn't drank in a long time. But anyway, so we were driving back to Houston from New Orleans. And my brother, so he's like, all day today, you've been talking about spirituality. I didn't even realize I was talking about spirituality a lot, but he's like, you've been talking about spirituality. So we're so different, right? Because he's an engineer. So he's like,
Was that left brain?
Left brain.
Okay, left brain, dude.
And I'm right brain, right? And so he's like, what do you mean by that? Like, tell me, like, what is spirituality? And I'm just like, just connecting to nature, just connecting to yourself, knowing what your purpose is. And he's like, what your purpose is? He's like, well, your purpose is just to live. And I was like, you're right. Purpose is to live. And he's like, well, You talk about nature and your purpose and all this stuff. And he's going into the engineering stuff. And I'm like, but both can coexist.
Yeah.
Both can coexist. And I'm like, yeah, our purpose is to just live, but we could also have other purposes as well. Like not just, but yes, you're
the
right.
rigidness, the black and white.
It's not black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, you're talking about connecting to nature. What you mean connecting to nature? What is this meditation? And he's asking me all this question. He's like, I'm not being sarcastic. Like, I'm really wanting to understand. And I was getting a little frustrated, but I was like, nah, but I understand, he's in a whole different place. He doesn't understand this stuff. So let me explain. And I start asking ChatGPT. I like ChatGPT. Explain this better for me. And I'm like reading to him what ChatGPT says. But it's interesting because some certain things, like especially like even with Tantra, you have to experience it. Mm-hmm. So me trying to explain it and explain what I've experienced and what I feel is my experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
But unless you experience it, you may not understand what I'm saying.
I got a good example.
Go ahead, yes.
Especially for the religious community.
Well, you know that I'm about to turn down the heat because I'm hot again. My heat just came on and I'm hot. This wine.
I would use the analogy in a religious context of when you go to church and a pastor's like, everyone comes to the altar. Or I don't know, the person who lay hands. And then the person lay hands and they lay hands on this person. They start running around the church and running around the church. And then they lay hands on the next person and then they fall out. And they fall out. And then they lay hands on the next person. They start speaking in tongues. So again, the same common denominator is the person who's laying the hands because they have the Holy Spirit in them and they are activating the Holy Spirit in each and every person. But how the Holy Spirit moves in everybody moves differently.
We don't finish this whole bottle of wine.
She don't finish it.
She finished it. Okay, sorry. Focus.
But yes, it's the same concept with Tantra to where it's like, when you are activating the Kundalini spirit within you, it moves differently. Yeah. Like me, I laugh like a wild lady. But that's because that energy needs to move that way. Some people speak in their native tongue. Some people cry. Some people might have an orgasm. Like Kundalini works differently for different people because that's how it's supposed to be. And so it's very hard to explain what Kundalini is or Tantra because it moves differently. And spirit, God, the universe, however you identify it, it knows what you need when you need it the most. So it's gonna do some things in you when you need it the most. So it might come out differently. I know my first experience with Tantra, because again, I sat for 3 months studying it, like on the Zoom studying it, but to study it and read books and stuff like that is a completely different experience than to actually practice it. Like studying and practicing the practices are 2 different realms. And so once I finally experienced it during my tantric weekend, oh my God. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was just so beautiful. But even when I recently experienced it over my birthday weekend, a different experience, but to me, it was still activator to show me, okay, these are the things I still need to work on. These are the things I need to celebrate too, because it's not all about these are the bad things in your life that you need to work on. It's sometimes you have to look at okay, these are the things that I've come a long way from and I've been able to find joy, because Kundalini or Tantra is a great way to also purify the things in your life so you can accept or allow the joy to come into your life as well too. So yeah.
And we deserve joy. We deserve pleasure. Pleasure is our birthright. Joy is our birthright. Yeah. If you're on here, say hi. Let us know who you are. Say hi. Is it 11 o'clock? Oh my God.
It is.
It's 11 o'clock. We've been talking that long? How in the hell?
I know how.
Oh my God. We started at 9:30 and it's 11 o'clock. I was like, what? Who's on here? Say hi.
Can we see? Is there a way to see who's on here?
It is. Oh, no, there's no way to see.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't show. Oh, maybe that just shows who we are. Oh, yeah, it shows. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just us right now.
I don't know, because at one point it says 0. So.
Oh, that's true. So, no, I don't know what that is. So, somebody's on here.
Either way.
That's true. Whew.
I hope y'all are enjoying Club Boycott, because this is what's happening right now. It's called Club Boycott, what we're doing.
We're boycotting and drinking wine
Yes.
and eating popcorn.
Instead of going to get popcorn at the movies, instead of going to the bar to get wine, we're doing it at home because we're down for the cause.
Even though I so wanted to go dancing tonight.
We can dance tonight.
We can dance here.
Yeah. We can go live. Let's go on Instagram live and twerk.
Ooh,
I'm all about to twerk live,
are
y'all.
you? All right. So are we gonna do it? She done got me drunk. She about to have me on Instagram twerking.
Yes.
Lord.
It's fun.
Lord.
It's fun. It's liberating.
It is. That's what I need. Okay. Y'all knew what I needed tonight. My ancestors knew what I needed. Just what I needed. All right. Wow. I can't believe it's 11 o'clock. All right. This is the longest live I've done. So anyway, thank you, Bella Harris.
Thank you.
let me put her information on here again. Off here again. The one and only Bella Harris. All right.
Y'all hop on Instagram. We finna twerk.
Yeah, on Instagram we about to twerk. We finna twerk because we in the South. So cool, but twerking is healthy. Mm-hmm. Oh, I need to twerk because I need to move my hips. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. This 50-year-old about to twerk. Oh, she about to have me twerk. All right, so anyway, thank y'all for coming on and watching. This was a long live. Thank you for watching any point in time that you came in. It was great. This was fun. And I'm gonna want to start doing this in my home more often. Doing this in person is live. It's fun. All right. So if you're not following Bella, go ahead and follow her on Instagram.
DM me too. That way I know. And I want to start sending out merch and stuff to people. So if you DM me, the first 3 people who DM me, I will give you some clothes. Some custom stuff, because I'm a couturier. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Either way, I'm not only a person who come up with the designs. Look at me. I not only come up with the designs, I actually make them myself. So
can I get something too?
I got you.
You got me?
Yeah.
Okay.
DM me first.
Okay, I'm gonna DM you. I'm gonna DM her now. I'm gonna be the first person to DM her. Oh God. All right, perfect. Love it.
Bye, y'all.
All right, this was fun. I had a great time. So if you're not following me, go ahead and follow me at Prandaraprim_Tantra. Check out my website. This is fun. I had a good time, but we're about to go and twerk. So catch us on Instagram. Peace, y'all. All right.